Alright, this is 3-0 notes function notation. Your objective, you'll be able to compare two functions and find out the greater value at each indicated input value. Alright. So, in this case, the figure shows a graph of a function f of x in the xy coordinate plane. A second function g is defined by g of x equal to negative 4x plus 9. To select the correct phrase in each drop-down menu to complete the sentence. So you have f of 2, and it's a drop-down menu, a choose drop-down menu. It's going to be either less than, equal to, or greater than g of 3. And f of negative 5 is either less than, equal to, or greater than g of negative 2. So we're going to break things down here. We want to find out what is the value at f of 2. Well, f refers to the f function that we see here on the graph. So f of 2, so when f is at 2, right here at 2, what is the y value? Well, the y value is at negative 2. So f of 2 is equal to negative 2. Now we have to go g of 3. Well, g refers to the g function up here. So we got to put 3 in for the x. So you have negative 4 times 3, which gets you negative 12. Negative 12 plus 9 gets you negative 3. So is negative 2 greater than negative 3? Is negative 2 equal to negative 3? Or is negative 2 less than negative 3? Well, negative 2 is greater than negative 3. So that first drop-down menu, you want to have greater than. Come on. Alright, next up, we compare, I'll do it in purple, f of negative 5. So we're going to put negative 5 into the f of x function. So we go to negative 5 on our graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at negative 5, our y output value is at 2. So f of negative 5 is the value of positive 2. Now g of negative 2, you put negative 2 in for the x because we're putting it into the g function. So negative 4 times negative 2 gets us positive 8. Positive 8 plus 9 gets you a positive 17. So is 2 less than 17, equal to 17, or greater than 17? Well, 2 is less than 17. So in the drop-down menu, we're going to choose less than. So we're saying f of negative 5 is less than g of negative 2. And that's where you're going to find your answers of A, B, and C. Or D, whatever multiple choice. First one, it applies for the first drop-down menu. The second drop-down menu is the second word in your multiple choice there. So just read left to right. Let's do another one. So it says the figure shows a graph of the function f of x in the xy coordinate plane, like you see over here. The second function, g, is defined by g of x is equal to 2x plus 7, which is given to us up here in the upper right-hand corner. Please select the correct phrase in each drop-down menu to complete the sentence. So f of negative 4 compared to g of 3. Well, f of negative 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right there, negative 4. So what is the height of this blue function? Well, the blue function is at a height of 2. So f of negative 4 is the value of 2. G of 3, we're going to put that 3 in for the x. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 7 gets you 13. So is 2 less than 13? 2 equal to 13? Or is 2 greater than 13? Well, you guys know 2 is less than 13. So the first drop-down menu is less than. So f of negative 4 is less than g of 3. Next up, we got f of 2. So what is our blue function at when x is 2? Well, our blue function is at negative 2. So f of 2 is really equal to negative 2. When I put g of negative 2 into g, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, and negative 4 plus 3 gets us negative 1. Is negative 2 less than negative 1? Is negative 2 equal to negative 1? Or is negative 2 greater than negative 1? Well, negative 2 is less than negative 1. So in this case, they're both less than. So in our drop-down menu of A, B, C, D, you want to look for less than and less than. And that'll be your correct answer. Alright, looking at this one. The figure shows a graph of the function f of x in the coordinate plane. F of x is what you see over here. The second function g is defined by g of x, and that's equal to 8x minus 9. Select the correct phrase in each drop-down menu to complete the sentence. So f of negative 6, well, we're going to look at negative 6 on our function f of x. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's my negative 6. And we see that the output is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the y value is at negative 6 at f of negative 6. So f of negative 6 is negative 6. The g of 3, well, g refers to the g function, so we're going to put 3 in for x. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 minus 9 is 15. So g of 3 is 15. Negative 6 is less than 15, so the first drop-down menu is less than. Next up, we got to find f of 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So the function at 4, it's down at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down. So that little dot's at negative 9. So f of 4 is negative 9. G of negative 2, we put negative 2 in for x. 8 times negative 2 gets you negative 16. Negative 16 plus 9 gets you negative 7. Is negative 9 less than negative 7? Is it greater than, or is it equal to? Well, negative 9 is less than. So in this case, it's also going to be less than and less than. Let's do another. We got plenty of time to do a bunch of them. So f of negative 8. So on our f, since it tells us f, that means we have to use the f of x function, since it's telling us f. So that means we have to use the graph. So at the graph at negative 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So at the graph at negative 8, what is my y value? 1, 2, 3, 4. It crosses at positive 4. That's the height of that little dot. So f of negative 8 is at positive 4. Then g of 3, I have to use this function for the g, because that's what g of x is. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 5 gets you 11. Is 4 less than 11? Is it equal to, or is it greater than? Well, 4 is less than 11, so your first one is less than. Now we got f of 3. So that means we got to look over here at 3. So 1, 2, 3. The height of it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the height of it's at 7. So f of 3 is 7. G of negative 2, well, you put negative 2 in for x. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 1. Oh, sorry, negative 4 plus 5, it gets you 1. Is 7 less than 1, equal to 1, or greater than 1? Well, 7 is greater than 1, so this is going to be greater than. So reading it left to right, as far as our multiple choice, we have less than, then greater than. How about another one? So in the figure shows a graph of the function f of x in the xy coordinate plane. So you have a second function g is defined by g of x. It's equal to negative 3x plus 1. So same setup here using these drop down menus. So f of negative 1, since it says f, I got to use the graph because the graph is f of x function. F of negative 1. So at negative 1, the height of that blue guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. So it's at negative 5. So f of negative 1 is negative 5. G of 3, we put 3 in for x. Negative 3 times 3 got you negative 9. Negative 9 plus 1 got you negative 8. Is negative 5 less than negative 8, equal to negative 8, or greater than negative 8? Well, negative 5 is greater than negative 8. So it's greater than. F of negative 9 and g of negative 2. Well, f of negative 9. At negative 9, we're going to put it in here for f of x. So negative 9 is all the way down over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So at negative 9, the function that has a height of 1. So f of negative 9, height of 1. G of negative 2, we put negative 2 in for x up here for the g of x function. Negative 3 times negative 2 gets you 6. 6 plus 1 gets you 7. Is 1 less than 7, equal to 7, or greater than 7? Well, 1 is less than 7. So this is greater than less than. Why don't you guys try this one on your own first? Hit the pause button. I'll give you a second to hit the pause button, and then I'm going to go over it. Alrighty, let's go over it. So f of negative 6, that means we got to use the f of x function, which is this blue squiggly guy here on our graph. So where is our blue squiggly function? What is the height of that blue squiggly when x is negative 6? So we go to negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then when it's negative 6, the height of it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The height of this guy is at 9. So f of negative 6 is 9. G of 3. Well, G of 3, we put 3 in for x. 5 times 3 gets you 15. 15 minus 3 gets you 12. So is 9 less than 12 equal to 12, or 9 greater than 12? Well, 9 is less than 12. So it's less than. F of 10. So when the function is at 10. So I put 10, I look at 10 on the function here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what is the height of the function when x is 10? So I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So f of 10 is at 7. Then I put the g of negative 2 in. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Negative 10 minus 3 gets you negative 13. Is 7 less than 13? Equal to negative 13? Or is 7 less, is greater than negative 13? Well, 7 is greater than negative 13. So we have a greater than. Alright, hopefully this helps. Here's your classwork and your homework. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or come to Extra Help. I'll be happy to help you out. Alright, have a good night.